Okay, so building slide decks, still really painful. My teams and I, we spent countless hours over the many years making these executive level decks and making them look really nice and et cetera, et cetera. Dating back to my first job at Bain, where we were building a lot of decks. And so even with all that experience, turning a great outline into polished slides still takes forever. So I got excited when I came across this tool called Genspark Slides. Genspark does a bunch of stuff. They're really worth exploring and looking at seeing all the capabilities that this tool has. But one of them in particular is creating slides. And it's a really awesome use case for AI. I've tried a lot of different AI tools for this, and this one has withstood. So what I like to use it for, it can be used in a lot of different ways. You can just put in an idea and it can research and create a whole slide deck for you. But what I like is I take my outline that I will put together for what I want a deck to look like and the story I want it to follow and everything, and then it'll turn it into the slides. So here I'm showing you on the left-hand side a typical outline for a deck that I'll first create. So this is a hypothetical scenario, and for this demo, I just made something up. So to make it clear, but it's pretty adjacent to some stuff that we do here at Dynap. For this one, just to set the stage, let's say at Dynap, we're pitching our voice AI transformation services to Premier Auto Group, which is a car dealership. 15 locations, a lot of revenue, losing ground to tech-enabled competitors, et cetera, et cetera. Done all the analysis, put all my thoughts here on what we want to pitch, how we want to pitch it, our implementation approach, value proposition, all the stuff that you normally have to do for a slide deck, all the thinking that goes into it, that you wish that you could just show them the document with the pitch or before putting together the slide deck, but really slides make it a lot easier to communicate, and that's why we put the effort into making really good slide decks. So here's the outline. What I'll then do, which is a step apart from Genspark, is I will take this outline and I will put it into Claude desktop, where I put together a system prompt for making slide decks. And so this is really not well formatted, but it basically is my style guide for making slides. And I'll typically put my outline, my strategic outline in there, and then I'll say build deck according to the outline in the pasted text. And then because of my system prompt, it'll go in and it'll actually write really clear specs for what goes on each slide. And that's really important for any AI, to have really clear specs of what you want. So basically taking my previous outline of my structured thoughts for what we should pitch and how we should pitch it to the client, and then it's putting it into very detailed specs for each slide in that outline. So the way I've structured it is I like to make sure this is, I've noticed, works well for AI. And again, Genspark is just powered by one of the LLMs. So I'm going to have this cook and build the slide deck. Okay, so then I'll put it into a markdown file and make some edits. But for now, I'm going to just copy this and then I'm going to paste it into Genspark. So again, this is Genspark. This is their slides interface. And then I will hit send, and then it'll just cook. And it takes a little bit. I shortened the number of slides down to 7 for the sake of this video, but you'll see after I formatted my outline into Genspark, it's just turning those into these professional looking slides. So let's see what it comes up with, and I'll show you some stuff after we get back. Okay, awesome. So it's all done. Title slide here. You've got, made these slides look pretty nice. It captures what I had put into the outline pretty well. This is slide 2, as you can see, how I laid it out. The title slide here, slide 2 here. Yeah, it captured most of what I wanted, and you can match it. Here, made some nice charts. Here, for example, it's not perfect and it made some errors, and you can actually edit here in Genspark if you want. You can click it and you can edit the text if you want. AI, if you want to put it in there, you can delete that. And it does a pretty good job. You can delete it if you want to, all within Genspark. And then what's also nice, if it's misformatted, you can just click this. You can say, let's format everything within the bounds of slide 4. And you can hit send. I'm going to say save our time right now and not do it right now, but it'll move everything up. It's a nice timeline slide. Again, not perfect. And what I like to do is, because I like PowerPoint, because I'm a former consultant who used to live in PowerPoint, is I like to view and export here, which Genspark then lets you download to PowerPoint. Download. And then you can edit it straight in PowerPoint. So for example, I want to remove these symbols, or let's say I wanted to just make those final tidy edits. For example, this one, instead of doing it in Genspark, you could just do it here in PowerPoint. So, yeah, and then you can you make all these edits in PowerPoint, or like I said before, you can edit it all in Genspark. You could also present it in Genspark, which is really nice, if you feel comfortable enough doing that. So yeah, so that's the tool. That's Genspark. I hope some people find some value in that and trying it out. Really, it saved me a lot of time, because it can take my idea of what I want the deck to look like, and storyline of what I want to present, and the outline, and it can make it look really nice. Again, a first draft, as most things in AI, it's an assistant, not a final product yet. And then you can go edit it, add your company logos, adjust brand colors, fine tune some wording. And yeah, so pretty polished presentation, ready for clients. I've used this many times, saved me a lot of time, me and my team a lot of time, and it's really helped our sales folks as well. So I hope it helps some other folks out there with your presentations. And if you have any questions, let me know.